Rasulullah wa alihi wa sallam wa ala. I'm very happy to stand before you on this very important meeting as titled Interfaith under the Faith and Philanthropy. This initiative is a very good one. Why? Because Al-Amal al-Khayri is that faith philanthropy, the stance, the position in Islam is carry a very good position. Because it is an act of moving closer to Allah and to promote good welfare in the society. Philanthropy in Islam has distinguished features different from that of other religions and philosophy. It is a practice where individual or faith-based organization give their time, talent, and money to improve lives and community, driven by spiritual obligation and a desire to express gratitude to Allah or fulfill their religious duties. So the features of philanthropy in Islam, I will itemize a very few features and pick one or two, extract one or two out of it, which will be our takeaway. One, universal. Two, variety. Three, religious motivation. Four, cleanliness. Five, spiritual and special impact. Six, building of solidarity and cooperation. Seven, intellectual assistance. When we look at the first one, the way Islam looks as philanthropy is universal. What do we mean by universal? Islam did not restrict an act of goodness to a particular group of people. That is only people who can assist. No, it's universal. Your family, your enemies, even Islam encouraged to do good to the enemies. Not only your religious partners, even non-Muslims, Islam encouraged to be kind. Above that, even the animals, Islam encourages us to be kind to them. That is why, in terms of where to employ kindness and goodness in Islam is universal. In as much this accommodation people need your kindness, then you extend it to them. Two, variety. What do you mean by varieties? We know kindness, but what to use the tools of doing kindness. Certain people will not look money. It's just ideas he needs from you to put in or her away, and he gets what he needs. So these varieties is another special distinguished features of philanthropy in Islam, to which any organization that came into something like this, we need to diversify. Certain people they need water in a particular place, maybe the water they need borrow. They are not concerned with food. Certain people they need clothing, they need. We look at this aspect. So the variety of kindness is another thing that we need to look at. There are also under this variety the sources of kindness. As our Imam, Chief Imam, he mentioned when he was talking, he mentioned certain institutions in Islam, like Waqf. Waqf means endowment. And this endowment is a way that in the past, a particular Muslim will take out of immovable assets and donate it for Allah's sake. Maybe like a farm land, which is majority in fruits. Now it's dissipated that so particular group of people, I donate this farm tree for Allah's sake, that people should continue to make the food from it. A particular people will donate his house for the widows. Any people that fall in widows, they should be sleeping in this house forever. Something like that has been existing during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. But nowadays, the scholars of Islam, they now look at another angle. They introduce what they call cash waqf, cash endowment. Because if we restrict to this type of assets to use as endowment, many people may not have opportunity. I don't have property that can donate, so that maybe the students, where we have like in Arab countries, you can see just a rich people. Like me, I study in Saudi Arabia. You see, rich men just donate his house for the students that they should be living there. Something like that can be done in Nigeria, where some students will be serving for where to live, respect to live, is something you can do. But because of the restrictions of this, the scholar, contemporary scholar, they now take another way to expand this endowment. They now introduce what they call cash waqf. So this cash waqf will include many people who do not have assets to be part. Then how it's going to be done? Then the way it will be done is just you have 1 million, for instance, 1 million naira. You just donate it to an organization who is made in this kind of project, the Imam Israel. So what they will now do, they will now invest that 1 million into a particular business which is halal. So the profits they earn from that particular business is what the person that donate that cash waqf will not be distributed to so group of people, maybe the widows, the orphan, help them in using the proceeds of this 1 million that they are investing in, using it to take care of orphan. So if this one, another person will have opportunity, you donate 500 million for cash waqf, they will use also for business. That whatever you get from the business, as they call it, be using it for so, paying the school fees of the children. So the cash waqf will Islam. And I believe something like this is also in Christianity, which is called 10%. So where I want to, it will be part of my recommendation in this meeting, because we have a divergence and different organizations and religions that we are in this meeting. I have a suggestion I want to bring from this, from the experience for one Islamic country, which is Malaysia. So zakat, as we know, is compulsory sadaqah, and you as a Muslim, if your money reaches certain amount, then you are ordained to give zakat out of it. Like also I said, in Christian you have 10%, what they call 10%, which is also compulsory. If you are a religious person, you will not mix it to pay it. In religious one. So now, these problems of we are facing in Nigeria, that is poverty. Any society, based on the research of the scholar, any society that if this compulsory harm is being given as is supposed to be given by the rich men, it will reduce the poverty in that environment. But when you see that the poverty is increasing, these compulsory harms is not taken care as supposed to be taken care. So then, and the past generation, early generation of Islam, who used to take care of this is the leader that used to collect it from the well-to-do individual. But now it's left for the individual to do it as based on the individuals. So now my advice or recommendation is that religious bodies should meet together and now meet the government, approve the government, that let the government make it in a way that people that qualified to be paying this compulsory harm, be a Muslim or a Christian. The 10% in our own is 2.5% of your wealth. So let the religious body meet the government and convene them, so that the money should be deducted from the source. If you qualify to be blood, that is what the Malaysia country, they do something like that in a practical way. So the tax, normal tax that the government is collecting, they put a kind of incentive there. That what is that incentive? They said, if you as a Muslim, you pay your zakat, then the normal amount you're supposed to pay as a tax will reduce it for you. So that now made many people, because normally the tax used to be high, more than the normal one that God Allah asks us to pay. So it encouraged many people to be paying more zakat, because that you know that if you pay, you will get the deduction from the tax. So if the religious body can do this, to meet to convene the government through the House of Parliament we have, then we can have enough of rich men to be paying these 2.5% and 10% more than it has been done. Then it is not stop at that level. When the religious bodies do this, then the sharing of this money to the eligible people they will also be part of it. They will not leave it for the government. deducted. But who will now be the operators? Who will be the share of this money? Will still be the religious body. Even though they may be selected by the government, but they will be the one to oversee this money. So, lastly, another thing to note is that the point of cleanliness that mentioned in the pictures is that any charity, be compulsory or voluntary, must be from a clean wet, not the wet that is not clean. Because the Prophet said, Inna Allah ta'ala tayyibun la yaqbalu illa tayyibah. Allah, the great, is very clean, and He will not accept anything except what is clean. So, the wealth that you give, you donate for charity, must be a wealth, a clean one, not the wealth that is not clean. Building of solidarity and cooperation. This institution of philanthropy, this is one of the beauty of this institution, if it's taken care in every society, as it's supposed to be here. What is that? The act of alms is the foundation of success in this world and in the hereafter, because it aids in purification of heart and society, as well as establishment of social justice. Because naturally, human being, if I see you, you are my neighbor, God bless you, you are so rich, but you are seeing your neighbor suffering, and the wealth is flowing in your hand, then your neighbor is suffering from financial issues. You cannot extend something to him. Naturally, I will hate you. That is human being. That you don't have care. But if somebody beside you, he has, he give you, automatically you love him, even if you don't want to do. So, one of the beauty of this institution is create more cooperation, building love among the individual. So that is why the rich men we have in our society, if they really think very well, they need to look at these aspects. Because that is one of the things that causes enmity and hatred among the society, the citizen, because there is no love of the poor in the mind of the rich one. So to conclude my stay, I will end it off with the Sahih al-Madinah. The Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated from Makkah to Medina, he wrote in constitution what they call Wathiq al-Madinah, Medina Charter. Something like this is in that constitution. The Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated to Medina, he made a constitution. This constitution was a foundational document that established the first state in Islam, benefiting and impacting its inhabitants by promoting unity, providing for religious coexistence and freedom for Muslims and non-Muslims, establishing principles of law and order, applying defense responsibility, and creating a unified community of Umar out of diverse tribes and religious groups. He served as the president for pluralistic society, ensuring rights, justice, and a form of governance and fostered peace and stability in the previous chaotic region. So you can see in this document constitution, the Prophet inserted the act of charity, asking assistance each other in this document. So I think if the religious leader body put head together on this very important thing, is something that we go along with to bring more coexistence, love, and stability and justice in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can do better. We can do better. It is very easy. It is very work this time. Thank you very much, our father and a teacher, excellent. He has just reconfirmed what our earlier speaker, Reverend Father Usani, said, that the role of religion in philanthropic activities for sustainable development is key. That we have all the strength, the influence, especially as a religion organization and a leader, to galvanize resources and have the part of development. So it means that we are all saying the same thing, we are all in the same page. It's just that where can we go from here? I think that was what